Welcome back to President Trump News Channel. Please subscribe and check notification bell. Thanks for being with us.
Obama, in discussion with Biden, says he couldn't be prouder of Obamacare. The Biden campaign called the Affordable Care Act one of Obama and Biden's greatest accomplishments. Former President Barack Obama, in a clip from a discussion with his former Vice President Joe Biden, released Thursday morning by Biden's presidential campaign, says that he couldn't be prouder of the Affordable Care Act, and that 20 million people have health insurance that didn't because of what we did.
The only person I told the detail all the time was you, because you had a right to know exactly what. And he only had months left to go. And I used to sit there, watch him in the bed, in pain, and dying of glioblastoma. And I thought to myself, what would happen if his insurance company was able to come in, which they could have done before you passed Obamacare, and said, you've outrun your insurance, you've outlived it. Suffer the last 5 months of your life in peace. You're on your own. All the things that it did, that it was so profound an impact on people, it was like it took them a while until they started to take it away to realize what was happening.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, you and I both know what it's like to have somebody you love get really sick. And in some cases to lose somebody, but that loss is compounded when you see the stress on their faces, because they're worried that they're being a burden on their families. They're worried about whether the insurance is going to cover the treatments that they need. I couldn't be prouder of what we got done. 20 million people have health insurance that didn't have it because of what we did.
The campaign had previously released other segments from the discussion between the former Democratic president and the current presumptive Democratic nominee for president. The entire video will be released later Thursday morning. I mean, you and I both know what it's like to have somebody you love get really sick, and in some cases to lose somebody, but that loss is compounded when you see the stress on their faces, because they're worried that they're being a burden on their families, Obama said while talking about his signature healthcare legislation known as ObamaCare, which Biden has run on and promised to expand, including a public option. Biden, Obama target Trump and socially distant sit-down. Obama added, they're worried about whether the insurance is going to cover the treatments that they need. I couldn't be prouder of what we got done. 20 million people have health insurance that didn't have it because of what we did. Biden, in the clip, also talks about the death of his son, and says it made him reflect on the importance of some of the protections in the law. I used to sit there and watch him in the bed and in pain and dying of glioblastoma. I thought to myself, what would happen if his insurance company was able to come in, which they could have done before we passed Obamacare, and said, you have outrun your insurance, you've outlived it. Biden said, suffer the last 5 months in peace, you're on your own. It was so profound an impact on people. The Biden campaign, in a statement on the video, called passing the Affordable Care Act and expanding health care to more than 23 million Americans one of Obama and Biden's greatest accomplishments. The ACA is currently facing a legal challenge over its constitutionality by a coalition of Republican-leaning states, which is backed by the Trump administration. The Supreme Court will hear the challenge in its upcoming term. The Trump administration has said that whatever the outcome of the challenge, it will ensure that people with pre-existing conditions are protected when buying health insurance. But the Biden campaign has nevertheless attacked Trump for ostensibly trying to overturn the law, which provides those protections now. I think it's cruel, it's heartless, it's callous, Biden said of Trump's attempts to dismantle Obamacare at a campaign event in June, just hours before the Trump administration filed a brief with the Supreme Court, arguing that it should be overturned. It's all because, in my view, he can't abide the thought of letting stand one of President Obama's great achievements. That brief, however, argued that because there is no longer a financial penalty for not having insurance, the individual mandate incorporated in the law can no longer be read as a tax, which saved the law from being struck down in a previous Supreme Court challenge. The Trump administration further said that because of how integral the individual mandate was to the law's design, the rest of it cannot be allowed to stand if the current form is declared unconstitutional. The individual mandate cannot be severed from the remainder of the ACA. Congressional findings incorporated into the ACA's text clearly indicate that Congress would not have adopted the guaranteed issue and community rating provisions, absent the individual mandate's requirement to purchase insurance, the June brief said.